The Guardians of Naxos were born in a joint research project of 3 universities where we asked ourselves if tourism can be harnessed as a force for good to improve and protect the island for the people of Naxos. We came up with a solution that would generate micro-donations in exchange for guided tours, combining augmented reality and AI-supported conversational agents. It would allow tourists to meet the ancestors of Naxos that offered free guided tours of the island, and give tourists the chance to return the favor with gifts of their own, a positive reinforcing cycle of mutual gift-making. In a next step, we asked ourselves how these guided tours could be created without a huge production team. Could they be produced by the people of Naxos, ideally with the help of only 1 or 2 people to offer guided tours all over Naxos? This is Mariana, a 11th grade student, and her teacher Maria Kaltsa of the Tragaias Highschool, who want to protect Naxos and support sustainable tourism on the island. Together, they asked themselves if they could offer an interesting legend or story as basis for a guided tour. They have found the perfect place for their search. Petros Anamiteros has collected a unique library of historical books and made it available in his Mythos Pizzeria in Chalki. Soon enough, Mariana is onto something, an amazing legend of 2 lovers, a kind of Romeo and Juliet of Naxos, that is tied to the striking Kokkos Tower ruin in the Potamia Valley. Who was Anoussa Kokkos, who defied all the odds and bridged the abyss torn by decades of violence and revenge? The place where Solger wrote his chronicle is actually only a few hundred meters away. Entering the ruins of Kalamitsia Monastery, Mariana cannot help but feel that she is following in the footsteps of Anoussa Kokkos. Could it have been here that she and her lover met in secret? Of all boys on Naxos, she had fallen in love with Giabatis Barozzi, the son of her family's worst enemy.
It was the 4th of April, 1676, the Holy Saturday of Easter. My mother believed I was learning French, the language of the kings, with monsters new above Father Solger. She would have killed me if she knew what I was really doing. It was the perfect place, the only place we could meet on this island that had eyes everywhere. Giabatis was a Barozzi, one of the demons that had taken everything from my family. They had killed my father, stole our land and our goats. To my mother, he was a son of the devil himself. To me, he was the world.
How could this story be turned into a guided tour without a full film production requiring a large team and budget? While Mariana sketched her scene, her friend Vasilis has already scanned the location using an app provided by the Guardians of Naxos. Together, they return to the Guardians' headquarters to illustrate their scene. Mariana has already found her character for Anoussa Kokkos. She can pose her characters based on a text prompt or her reenactment of the scene. The illustrations are then placed in the correct location based on a reconstruction created from Vasilis' scan. While the Guardian helps them assemble the scene, Mariana creates the voiceover for the narration, in any language she chooses.
Μπορούμε να ξαναρθούμε την άλλη εβδομάδα?
Όλο αυτό γίνεται πολύ επικίνδυνο.
Father Robert was on the edge. Pirates had attacked the town, he said. Now he wanted to go and help. The Jesuit was different than the other Frankish priests that had walled themselves up in the Castro, a man of the world, a friend to the French king himself. He had understood and agreed to help me, but that night, even he was giving up on us. Θα είμαστε πολύ προσεκτικοί.
Πρέπει να μιλήσεις στη μητέρα σου.
Θα με σκοτώσει. Θα μας σκοτώσει και τους 2. Σας παρακαλώ.
Όχι. Θα πεις ψέματα. Και πρέπει να έρθεις μόνη σου.
Πάμε να φύγουμε.
Έρχομαι μαζί σου.
Giabatis insisted to walk me home. But what was the point? Was there even a future for us? A future without blood and gushing wounds? My heart sank when we set out on our walk back to Potamia. back to my prison.
Mariana has imagined a second scene set just outside the village of Mesopotamia.
No matter what I said, he would not leave, and I felt it too. There was a chain tying our hearts together that was simply too strong. When we had almost reached the tower, we heard some shouts from the village. Somebody had seen us.
Έλα, Anoussa, σ' αγαπώ. Ας φύγουμε μαζί.
Come with me, he said. I looked up at the tower. Somewhere up there was my mother, eaten up by her anger at the Barozzi and the world. On the other side of that tunnel lay my future, alive with Giabatis, or an abyss that would swallow us both. I took his hand, and we ran. Σ' αγαπάω, Giabatis Barozzi. Turning back, I saw my mother in the highest window and heard her voice, like she had told me so many times before. Don't hurt your father's bones. Giabatis clutched his arm. I saw blood well up between his fingers, dark red, the color of cherries. He had been hit with an arrow. On the other side of the mountain lay Halki with the Barozzi tower. If we wanted to survive, we had to make it to that tower. We started running like we had never run before.
So audiences will easily find the path, the Guardians have created a network of walkable trails uploaded to Google Street View. This way, Mariana can easily link the scenes of her story to a location.
The path was so steep, I felt as if someone had lodged a dagger between my ribs. At the bottom of the road, I could see my brothers gaining on us with 3 of their guards.
As Mariana follows the path that the 2 lovers would have taken on that fateful day, the familiar environment comes alive for her in a completely different way, the landscape opening up and revealing the depths of its history for her. Mariana has chosen a small church halfway along the path for her climactic scene.
Σταμάτα! Για το όνομα του Θεού, σταμάτα να πυροβολείς! Giabatis had somehow found the strength to run, but now my brothers had almost caught up with us. When Halki came into sight, Giabatis' leg buckled under him, and I knew we had lost. With our last breath, we dragged ourselves into the church and barricaded the door behind us.
Άνοιξε, μωρή! Προδότρα!
It was only a matter of time until they had found a rock large enough to smash the door. Giabatis had lost so much blood he could hardly keep his eyes open. I will never forget the moment when he looked up at me.
Anoussa, Kokkos, θα με παντρευτείς?
Anoussa, Kokkos, will you marry me? He asked. I was stunned. I want to hear you say yes before I die. And I said, yes, I do. The door burst open. It was Giabatis' brother. The Barozzi boys had come rushing from Halki to meet us. The air had turned to glass. Time had stopped and I felt as if the gods were watching us. As soon as we had cleared the bushes and entered the path to Tsikalario, my knees gave away and I passed out.
Telling her story, Mariana feels a different kind of connection to the tourists that visit her island. Her story connects with her home in a different way. It makes her become aware of how much this environment, its stories and legends have shaped who she is and has given her a unique safety and confidence. This is a cultural heritage that she will no longer take for granted. It is now something she proudly wants to show, acutely aware of its value, something that she will never give up.
This is the palace where I lived with Giabatis. I cannot say that his family treated me badly. They kept their distance until my first child was born, but Giabatis kept his promise. He stayed by my side always, until his last day when I held his hand up there in our room. I hope you understand now why I love this land so much. It carries our stories, it carries our souls, it carries our love, and there is so much love. All we need are the places to feel it.
Thank you.